All right, so I get this question asked often. Mark, what should I do? Uh, I've been trying to lose weight. I've tried so many things. I've tried just about anything and everything, and I've been trying for so many years, and I'm scared to try something new again. How do I know I'm not going to fail? I'm really scared. What should I do? And this question comes up often to a lot of people I connect with who are trying to lose weight, who've been struggling with losing weight, who maybe actually had some success losing weight and then put the weight back on. And the amount of people that share with me a little bit of their backstory, how they've struggled, they've tried, they've struggled, they've had some success, they put the weight back on, and they're scared. They're scared now where they're at. They're scared that they're a little older. They're scared that it's getting harder, and they're scared, which is definitely a legit feeling and emotion to have, to be scared. And my answer to you, if this sounds like you, if you're scared to keep trying, I want to share with you a story. But first, I want to tell you the answer that I would have for that person, and I tend to be saying it a lot. Do it scared. Do it scared. What I found in life, some of the most rewarding experiences in my life are when I did things that I was scared. I actually think that if you're not a little bit scared to do things, maybe it's not challenging enough for you. And it was interesting. My wife and I we don't have cable. We have like YouTube and internet and stuff. And we've been watching some YouTube, following some people on YouTube, more like vloggers and travelers and stuff. And there's this young couple. They travel around the country and they they do a video log of their experiences. And one of them was an experience of this guy and two of his friends, and they bike across Colorado, and it's like a 7-day, 500-mile trip or something like that. Anyway, it was really cool. We've been digging it, watching their experiences, and making us want to do these challenges, these like active challenges. And it made me think back to one of the most significant, really legit scariest moments in my lives where I did it anyway. Now, it's not related to weight loss. In fact, it's related to way back, over 20 years ago, when my wife and I were just dating at the time, and we started to get into doing triathlons. And now I'm talking about like small ones, like the little sprint ones, where if you know anything about triathlons, a triathlon is where you swim and you bike and you run a length of a distance. So like a typical sprint is like a half-mile swim, or like an Olympic distance is like a third of a mile swim, and then maybe like a 10K bike. And I don't even know all the distances, but I do know this one distance. So we had done a couple of those for fun, just to have some sort of a challenge, and they were actually really hard. And we trained, but we were young, so I taught spinning at the time, and we swam in a pool, and we had a bike, and at the time we lived in New York and rode around Central Park and called that a workout. So here we are, and I remember I was faced with this opportunity, so to speak, to do something that I'd never done before. And it was to sign up for a half Ironman. So if you've ever heard of an Ironman, that's like the hardcore, like only the professionals do the hardcore, where they run or they swim 2.4 miles, and then they bike 100 miles, and then they do a marathon. And it's ridiculous. And I haven't done one of those. I almost signed up for one, but I actually did the next closest thing, and I signed up for a half Ironman. So what that is half of that. It was a 1.2 mile swim, a 56 mile bike, and then a half a marathon. And I'm not going to get into the story of how that turned out, because it was probably one of the most challenging yet satisfying days of my life when I completed it. But I will tell you that I was so scared, even like in my 20s and in fairly good shape and working out and, being a spinning instructor. And I say more young and dumb at the time, didn't have any nutrition dialed in. I was really scared, but you know what? I did it anyway. And I can think back now, and I always have, that I did a half Ironman where I legit swam 1.2 miles. And this was in St. Croix. That was the fun part of it, is that we trained and all winter long in the cold weather of New York, and really didn't have any exposure to warm water except for pool water. And here I am swimming 1.2 miles, over a mile swim from somebody that doesn't have really any swimming experience other than surfing and boogie boarding. And then on a bike, and I'm a spinning instructor, so I didn't have any like legit long distance under my belt of 56 miles and then a half a marathon. And I was more of a sprinter, so who the heck? I was scared. And the reason why I tell you that is that even when you're scared, in fact, I know you've maybe heard that courage, like, well, just have courage. Don't just face fear, and courage, just so you know, courage isn't the absence of fear. So I was afraid doing that event, but the willingness, courage isn't so much the absence of fear, but the willingness to act in the face of fear. And I think that's what a lot of us get stuck in, especially maybe if you're struggling with your weight loss right now, is you're afraid to do something different. You're afraid to maybe start something new. It's scary, right? My answer to you is do it scared. Do it scared. That actually might be a good driving force. Like if it wasn't all that scared, nah, it's not that scary. That's not that. It's probably scary, especially if you've been maybe struggling on your weight loss journey for any length of time. But I can tell you the reward, all the things, even getting married. I was so scared getting married. Buying a house for the very first time, I was super scared of doing that. Having children, that was super scary. But I still did it. So do it anyway. Do it scared. I think of some of the most fulfilling and rewarding experiences in my life were because instead of just staying stuck in fear and not doing it, I actually had the courage to do it anyway. And you probably do as well. But unfortunately, a lot of times we just get stuck in this moment of fear. And let's just face it, there's an overabundance of fear in this world right now. But my question to you is, are you willing to act in the face of fear? Have the courage not to say, okay, I'm too afraid, I don't have courage. You can have courage and still have fear, but still act on it anyway. That's my question to you today. Now, I'm not saying you got to run out and do a triathlon, but maybe you feel like your weight loss journey has been like one long marathon, long drawn out marathon, and you're still running the race of struggling with your weight loss. My question to you is, are you going to have enough courage to do it anyway, to do it scared? Maybe it's time that you do something that you know is going to work for you. Maybe it's time to get out of the rat race and the merry-go-round of dieting and quick fixes and thinking that you keep saying to yourself, I know what to do, I know how to eat, you're not doing it because you're doing the same thing over and over again. You're beating yourself up and you're still on the weight loss journey. Like if you're still on the weight loss journey and it's been any length of time, it's kind of frustrating and it can be scary. So my encouragement to you is if you are scared about trying something new, do it scared. It is worth it. Trust me, it is worth it 100%. Now, I can say that triathlon was so hard. It was the hardest thing in my life that I ever physically did in one day, like a physical event. And I remember the half a marathon, my legs locked up. I ended up walking half of it. It was terrible. But I did it. And you know what? I was thinking as we were watching a show last night, and I was like, I think it's time to see what kind of potential I have now that I'm rounding the corner. Next year, I'm going to be 50. I was thinking to myself, what can I do? Maybe I need to sign up for that half Ironman. Maybe I need to do something that's going to be scary. They say is that you should do something that scares you every single day. So maybe today is that day that you do something different. Maybe you do something that scares you. Maybe it's you get the right help that you need to get off this weight loss journey once and for all. That's all I got. See you soon. Take care.